Even now, the image of her standing there burns in my memory, head slightly tilted, lips curled into a smug smile, like I was some naive fool who deserved what had happened. Her eyes carried no remorse, no shame, just a cold amusement, as if I was nothing more than a passing inconvenience. Her name was Marissa. We had shared 4 years together. When we first crossed paths, I was finishing up my law degree, consumed by long nights of studying and endless casebooks. She was balancing her psychology studies while working shifts at a nearby coffee shop. There was something about her, a natural magnetism that drew people in effortlessly. I was no different. I fell fast and hard. In the beginning, everything felt perfect. The passion, the loyalty, the promises whispered late at night. We moved in together after 2 years, and for her birthday, I surprised her with a golden retriever she named Milo. She broke down in tears, clutching him like he was the best gift she had ever received. Back then, I thought that was love. I was wrong. Lately, though, something had shifted. She grew distant, irritable, always claiming to be exhausted. I convinced myself it was stress from school and work. But small things gnawed at me. Her phone was always in her hand, locked behind passwords I no longer knew. She guarded it like it held the secrets to her soul. Still, I refused to become the paranoid boyfriend who checked through her private things. I chose to trust her, and she used that trust to crush me. It was a Friday night when everything unraveled. I got home early, hoping to surprise her. Maybe we could order from that Thai place she loved, spend some much-needed time together. But when I opened the door, the apartment was empty. Milo was restless, pacing. No message from her. Midnight came and went without a word. I called once, no answer. At 2:14 a.m., I heard the click of the front door unlocking. She walked in wearing a tight black dress, heels in hand, makeup smudged, not from tears or from hours spent in someone else's arms. She paused for a second, surprised to see me awake, but not guilty, not even uncomfortable. Without missing a beat, she let out a breathy chuckle. "You're still up? Didn't think you'd care." I asked where she'd been. She rolled her eyes, voice dripping with indifference. "Out. What? You want every little detail." I said nothing. I just stood there, letting the silence hang heavy between us. That's when she smirked and twisted the knife. "Fine. I slept with someone. They're happy now." Then she laughed. She actually laughed, as if what she'd done was some twisted punchline to a joke I didn't know I was part of. In that instant, something inside me snapped, not in anger, but in cold, ruthless clarity. I nodded once, calmly stepped past her, grabbed my keys, and walked out the door. I drove aimlessly for a bit before settling into a booth at a 24-hour diner down the street. Over a cup of coffee, while the neon lights buzzed overhead, I started making calls, sending emails, and laying the groundwork for what came next. She had no idea how much control I actually had. The apartment lease, under my name. The car she drove daily, registered and financed through my credit. The shared checking account, I had full access. I'd been silently collecting documentation for months. Receipts, statements, every shred of proof of her emotional distance. She thought she was clever. She wasn't. By the time dawn broke, everything was set. At 10 a.m., I returned to the apartment. She was still asleep, completely unbothered. Without raising my voice, I told her she had 30 days to find a new place. The lease was being terminated. The shared utilities would be shut off. She blinked at me, as though it hadn't even occurred to her that I would take action. "But where am I supposed to go?" she whispered. I stared at her, voice flat. "That's not my concern. And the car? It's not yours. You got until Sunday to hand me the keys." Only then did she finally start to cry. But I didn't flinch. I didn't offer comfort. I simply walked away. In the weeks that followed, I watched her crumble. She tried every tactic, anger, guilt, even desperate late-night texts begging me to talk. I never responded. The last time I saw her was when the moving truck arrived. She stood outside, holding a suitcase and a garbage bag filled with clothes, watching the last remnants of what used to be her life disappear into boxes. That self-satisfied smirk she once wore, completely gone. I left her standing there with nothing but the consequences of her choices. Let whoever she cheated with deal with the wreckage she created. I moved on, but I'll never forget the moment she laughed at my heartbreak. That was the exact second I stopped loving her and started reclaiming my life.